as important it is to hire the right talent, the right leaders, equally important and challenging it is to retain that talent, right? So, one of the things that I want to talk about today is very, very critical, very fundamental for organizations, for businesses to get the right talent and then retain them, right? So that you're not spending your energy, efforts, every time on bringing in new people. A lot of organizations are facing the challenges where they get the best resources, spend all the time, and then over time, these people, the leaders, the resources leave the organization. Yes, if that's you, if that's something that you're struggling with, then you must watch this right until the end. Hi, I'm Aastha Tatia, daughter of two rock-solid pillars, mother to a lovely daughter, wife of a humor king, an engineer, MBA corporate executive turned anchor person, now an author and a happiness coach, helping corporate leaders build deep connections and meaningful relationships in their organizations, right? And when they create meaningful relationships, that's where they build their happiness muscle because they express their higher potential. If what you hear today makes sense, hits hard, then go ahead and like this video. And also, if you've not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe to the channel now. So one of the things that I've heard from some organizations, leaders, is that, oh, I've spent all the energy and I've gotten the best talent only for them to leave or walk out after a while. Now, there could be a lot of things, a lot of factors around it, but one of the things which is quite often ignored and I find it missing when I talk to these leaders is what I want to talk about today. And that one very, very important thing is nurturing the leaders, nurturing these resources, and which definitely means creating opportunities for them, right? Helping them grow. But it also means giving them an environment where they can grow emotionally and mentally, where they can work on their emotional barriers, they can work on their limiting beliefs, they can work on their biases, they grow as human beings. When that level of nurturing happens, then there's a very different level of belonging. And the interesting thing is when that happens at the leadership level, it flows from top to bottom. Then they in turn pass on that nurturing to their teams. So then that sets the culture. And nobody wants to leave a place where they feel taken care of, where the safe space exists, they feel secured, and they grow as human beings. Their happiness only enhances, only increases because they're actually doing the real work, right? So giving them that kind of an environment where they feel nurtured, nourished, is one of the things which is very, very critical. So at the level of the top leadership, this is something that needs to be considered and brought into the system. If that means regular engagements, if that means a one-on-one that the boss needs to do with his or her team members, or even if it is some professional help that needs to be sought. But when that environment is given where people feel nurtured and where they are able to share their deepest concerns. So quite often I hear leaders having access to professional help, having access to coaches, mentors, but that is somewhere restricted. And they say, hey, you know what, I'm able to share a part of my life and I get beautifully mentored or coached there. But then there's this other part of my life which I'm not able to share because it is my office environment. How can I open up when it comes to the personal stuff or some of the deepest things that I'm carrying, which are impacting me massively, right? So helping them create that kind of a space, so that they could open up, and then maintaining that, confidentiality where they feel, wow, I'm taken care of and I'm respected. My privacy is respected. Then it's a very, very different level of connect, bonding, belonging, and nobody would ever want to leave. So equally important to the opportunities that you are creating for them, the growth path that they have with the organization, along with all of this, what is very, very important is the nurturing, the nourishment, which is, I'd say, which stems from a place of love, right? And when I say this, a lot of people say, what are you talking about? Organizations, corporate culture, love. Well, yes. We cannot even imagine a culture which is founded on the foundation is love. Yeah. And it may take a while to kind of bring in that culture. It may need some conscious effort. But when at that level, nurturing starts from top to bottom, it's a complete turnaround. Yeah. So I think where to start? Well, it starts at whoever steps in your top leadership. That's where you start to set in or bring in that nourishment, nurturing culture. You nurture them, and they in turn nurture everybody. And that stems from nothing but love. Yeah. What do you think? What is crossing your mind as you listen to this? Does it make sense? What are your thoughts around this? What has been your experience? Do you feel, if you're a leader out there, do you feel nurtured in the organization that you're in? What can happen differently? How could you be differently so that you show up very differently with your team? What would you want? The kind of leaders that you want others to be. How about you first being that kind of a leader? Yeah. So I think this is something that I really wanted to talk about when we talk about organizations holding on to or having some strong resources and who stay there, because you don't want to spend time creating that bond and nurturing somebody and only for them to leave. And yes, there have been instances where organizations where people were leaving just because they didn't feel nurtured. And the moment the organization made conscious efforts, helped them stay back, understood, heard them, right, and created policies which were conducive to them being nurtured for their nurturing, people started to stay back and the retention went high. So that is very, very critical. Go ahead, start implementing, maybe at one level, start working on that. If you need professional help, you need external help, go ahead, seek that, but create that. And you see the impact that this creates, whatever level it is, whatever be the magnitude of the organization, but this is a must. Made sense? If it did, hit the like button. Do write in the comments. Let me know what are your thoughts. Yeah. What opened up for you? And also go ahead and subscribe for more such content and the podcast series Aastha Unplugged, where you have an episode every fortnight. And that's some real talk around workplace relationships and workplace experiences. Yeah. Take care. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.